So glad you're here, being cool to yourself, and in this foundation step 9, well-being practices, being cool to others, on top of yourself. The main practice is the formal sit of the heart-centered breath practice. I recommend this in the morning, like we've been doing, and then setting intentions. You can also end your night with it. You know, to me, it's a form of prayer. Then we can set intentions to do any of the informal practices throughout our day. And if you're ready and it feels right and you're in that emotional holding space where you feel like, let's go, start maybe writing the letter of reconciliation to either yourself, those you have harmed, maybe writing a letter to those who have harmed you, and definitely to life. Then the other informal practices are, we can set an intention to practice the contemplative reflection on forgiveness and reconciliation and letting go, because it's so difficult that maybe you can practice this, either the entire meditation every day in the evening, or break it up in parts and then journal, and then let that journal lead into your letters. Excuse me. And let that be a start to trust, mistrust, and trusting again, where we start looking at connecting with people in life again. The other meditation is using the stop practice to let go, or metta practice of letting go. And so the good thing is when you meditate and do this heart-centered practice, you've already opened you up for the day to live with this. This as this felt sense as you go into your day. So when we become aware, now that we have this awareness and this more clarity in life, with our window of clarity and expanding this window of tolerance, where at moments when you find yourself having resentments, being irritable or angry, or just complaining about someone, or not putting the best thoughts or wishes on someone, when you're able to have that awareness to stop and engage in the stop, take a breath, observe how the body's feeling in that moment of resentment, and then going up to the thoughts and observing our thoughts, observing our surroundings, and then changing the perception and setting intentions to do this, and maybe the perception on maybe asking yourself, why am I with this person right now? Or why am I thinking about this person right now? And those are two good questions to reframe the perspective, and then proceed. Either set boundaries that we have, or using other practices that resonate with you over these foundation steps 1 through 9. And so we're at this point, and this is probably the foundation step that to this day is very difficult and challenging for me, and it's not easy. So remember that. And if you do these practices and they become intense, first of all, I hope you journal, and you can always just put them aside and then move on maybe to foundation step 10 or the MBSR 8-week course, and then come back and try these practices. But I do recommend the heart-centered breath meditation. It's wonderful. Also, I hope you're at the point where you're establishing your own mindful movement practice based on the standing yoga, the movements, the martial arts steps and movements, and then maybe even the lying down yoga or resistance training or hiking or cycling or jogging, whatever it may be. And so remember, meditate in the morning, study intentions of becoming aware of when you're holding on to resentments, irritability, frustration about someone, and have that be a guide. And then lead into making sure we do some kind of mindful movement for at least 35 minutes to an hour, a walk, whatever feels right for you. And then in the evening, reflect. And reflect on either the guided questions we have or reflect on the two other questions we have on what insights did I gain about myself in life and what did I learn about myself in life. I always like to throw in what I appreciate about myself too. Okay, so you have great commitment. You're so strong and resilient. Keep committing to yourself. And be cool to yourself, be cool to others, be kind. Appreciate you.